set, and go.
So for the project, I decided to focus specifically on public speaking. First of all, because I feel like it's something I need to work on, but it's something I really like. But I've been focusing on that more this semester, and specifically the concept or the term linguistics. And well, teacher, you already know what that is, right? But basically, for a short definition, is linguistics is just the different styles of language that we as people use, whether it be different types of slang or just different varieties of language. And so in this project, I'm going to show just like around 4 videos explaining in detail and showing how I have used public speaking, whether it be this semester or within this past year. And so that's all going to be compiled into this video. And just from a personal experience, I learned a lot doing this project. Honestly, I have grown myself in confidence and just in my relations with people, not just one-on-one conversations, which is really important, but also just in a broad sense, right? Like not trying to be shy and really putting myself out there and growing as an individual so I can voice what I think is true and what I feel is right. And I also want to focus specifically on the term or concept Spanglish. I know from reading the book and just from talking to various people, there are many ways of communication, depending on where you live, where you grew up in the country and all of that. There's different dialects or types of slangs or all of that. And for me personally, I grew up in a Hispanic Latino background. My parents are Mexican and I grew up in California. And just being in the Latin community is a little bit different than, I guess, being here in Rexburg, even though there's a decent amount of Latinos here. But I grew up speaking Spanish and English, and then I learned French on my mission. But basically, French and Spanish and English I've spoken my whole life, and I have seen it play a big role in my life. Like even in little things, I use Spanglish probably every hour of my life, believe it or not. And I don't know, some people might say it's a good thing or a bad thing, but for me, I find joy and comfort that I can communicate even if some words don't exist. I can communicate with my friends and have a good time and laugh and just be part of that culture that really has touched me and that has been a part of my life. And just to close, honestly, this class and this specifically as well, this 10-hour project has really helped me understand the relevance of communication, because I feel like for me, communicating, whether it be public speaking or just one-on-one conversations, sometimes it might be easy with people but with people that I don't know, it comes hard, and it becomes hard, and it's harder for me because I'm a little shy sometimes. But this project has helped me understand the relevance and how unique it is to communicate. And there's so many ways to communicate, not just public speaking or just having a conversation one-on-one, but it could be nonverbal cues or just the way you grew up or just through social media. And so I really am thankful that I got the opportunity to do this project and to take this class. It truly has been a blessing. I hope to continue to grow those skills and use it not only in my professional life in the future, but also in my church life and specifically with my family. This first video is a video of me speaking to my audience, to the crowd as a DJ. I DJ for the school and also events off campus on my own. And so I usually get a lot of people at my parties. The most I've had it was probably around 200 people, 200 college kids. And it's a great experience. But I always had to be constantly talking and communicating and voicing the energy to the people. And this is just a short video clip of how I guess the word hype, it's a little bit of slang, but hype people up and just get people excited to have that energy. And it's very important for me to just communicate with the right languages, because I usually throw Latin parties, but I also play some hip-hop music. So I have to use both languages, English and Spanish. But this is just an example of me, speaking in the public and speaking English. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Hey, I'm gonna play a super good song right now, but I want all of you to get super hyped right now. Let me hear it, please. You guys ready? You guys ready?
Silence down, freezing cold. Guess I ain't ready now. When it's here, I'm gonna do it for Louis Bell. Guess she's sorry, no, you know nothing else. I try to know.
Now, this second video here is a video of me, obviously, as a missionary with my mission companion on my mission in Montreal, Canada. And at this moment, I was serving as it was my last transfer, my last 2 transfers, and I was serving in the Spanish area. And like I said, I grew up speaking Spanish, and this is just a video, again, demonstrating the energy that I possess when communicating. And even though there may not be, people there physically, I'm still verbally communicating to an audience, and specifically to a Latin community. And so it's very important to be clear and precise, especially as a missionary. We have to have very formal language. And even though we're supposed to have formal language, I do slip up sometimes and use some Spanglish in there, just because of the way that I guess I grew up. It happens naturally. Like sometimes I may not know a word in Spanish, even though I'm very fluent. And I just come up with a random word that sounds good, but it's an example of Spanglish. So I hope you enjoy this little video.
El chocolate blanco, el que le gusta las pupusas. El gringo que quiere ser latino. Elder Hershey.
La gente se agüita mucho.
No digas eso a la gente. Y ahora, para presentar el próximo. El chicano que se aguanta el frío canadiense. El jefe de jefes. El que baila la cumbia. Elder Salvador. Y el chaparro igual se agüita mucho.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Yo me llamo Elder Salvador.
Y yo me llamo, bueno, no me importa porque ya nos presentamos. ¿Te acuerdas?
Ya, vamos a empezar. Ya, vamos.
Vamos a empezar con la primera pregunta.
Espera. ¿Qué estamos haciendo?
Si no lo voy a explicarles. Bueno, vamos a contestar 5 preguntas acerca de quiénes somos.
¿En qué creemos?
¿Listo con la primera pregunta?
¿Ustedes son cristianos?
Bueno, de hecho sí somos cristianos. Creemos que Jesucristo es el Hijo de Dios y que Él murió por nuestros pecados. Y gracias a Él podemos recibir la salvación. Gracias, compa, por las fotos. Y bueno, la iglesia se llama la Iglesia de Jesucristo
De los santos.
de los últimos días.
La respuesta, sí.
¿Se pueden ir a las fiestas?
¡No, hombre!
¡No me mires una fiesta! ¡Ya no vamos
¡Tiene la sangre! ¿Y ustedes creen en la Biblia?
Sí, como no creemos en la Biblia como la palabra de Dios, pero también tenemos un otro libro que se llama
El libro de Mormón.
Y los dos van juntos.
Y el libro de Mormón es otro testamento de Jesucristo semejante a la Biblia, solamente que pasó en las antiguas Américas.
Santa Biblia.
Libro de Mormón, léanlo.
Pues ojalá que sí.
Pues yo me quiero casar.
Ya.
Sí, nos vamos a casar. Y la última pregunta, ¿por qué están aquí?
Bueno, más que todo estoy aquí porque he podido sentir del amor que Dios tiene para cada uno de nosotros. En mi vida, en los momentos más difíciles, los momentos en que había sentido lo más solo, el Señor Jesucristo me dio consuelo y quiero compartir eso con los demás. Entonces, si te sientes solo ahorita, no estás solo. El Señor está contigo.
Y yo estoy aquí porque amo a Jesucristo y les quiero a ustedes y quiero compartir este mensaje tan gran y tan especial porque sé que puede cambiar su vida.
Sí, entonces si quieren escuchar un mensaje de paz
o gozo,
comenten abajo,
manden su mensaje.
Nos vemos.
Chao.
Bye.
And this last video is a video of when I did FSY this past summer. Just generally, honestly, it was an awesome experience. It was one of the best experiences of my life. And I would totally do it again, honestly. But my last week in FSY, I spent most of my time in Utah. But my last week, the church actually flew me over to my mission because I speak French. And I was able to serve have youth in my group who only spoke French. I mean, they spoke, a little bit of English, but it was mostly French. And it was an amazing experience to be able to communicate in their native language. And even though obviously my French isn't perfect, it was an amazing experience to not only continue to study it, but also verbally speak it once more like I did on my mission. And this is just a short little video. I know it's not as formal. I know we're doing like little activities, but this is just an example of how I was able to, apply the term of linguistics and really understand it, not just speak it, but understand the culture and be able to connect with these youth. And these youth were able to have just an awesome experience, and it was life-changing, not only for them, but for me, and it's something that I will never forget and that I will forever be thankful for.
Play?
Yes.
Oui?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go! Encore.
And just to conclude, I just want to express my gratitude for this project, and that I was able to learn more about communication and how it's put into action and put into use, and not only just the things that we learned in the textbook and throughout the course, but more than anything, in the real life environment. I have come to be more thankful for just the culture and the diversity that each person has, because sometimes we may not realize really how much influence the culture or how we grew up has had on our lives, but it really does, and it matters because that's how we in turn will teach our future children, and then their children will teach their children, and it'll be like an ongoing chain. So I'm just very thankful that I got to learn these new concepts and terms and be able to really improve my public speaking and my communication skills.